All right, hey everybody, Matt here from Aroundsquare, and I've just got I think a relatively short product drop announcement here. We're doing a small product launch this Friday, so it's like mid-month, December 2024, and we really wanted to get these restocked this year. This is our base pocket knife. We initially launched these back in February of this year, and they went out of stock almost right away. And we rushed to do the restock, but the scheduling just takes some time, and yeah, it's taken us until now to get them into stock. When we did the restock, we decided that we would go ahead and launch a drop point version. So the original base was this one here with a modified Tanto grind. And this was how the knife was originally designed. I still really like this this grind for this blade. It's small, but if you're doing things like opening boxes, this extra little point is really handy. And you know, the chisel kind of tip, it really resists any kind of breakage or anything like that. It's got S35 VN steel, so it's like a super hardy steel. Grade 5 titanium frame and the clip as well, if you get the clip version. And it's got like a 3mm width blade, so it's like a very sturdy little unit. Despite being small, it's like really built to handle whatever you throw at it, right? So this was the original design, but immediately people started asking for a version with other grinds, because there are some people that just like, it's a deal breaker for them. They just don't like the Tanto for some reason. And that's fine. We kind of wanted to do this initially anyways, but just to do a more classic drop point. And I really love the geometry of this grind. It's really nice. We decided that to kind of differentiate it a little bit from the Tanto, and also to kind of play to the strengths of this type of blade, this type of shape. We would also make the blade just a tiny bit thinner. So I don't know if you'll see it in the video, but the Tanto is 3mm. The drop point here is 2.5mm thickness. And what that does is it just makes it slightly slicier. So for those of you who have gone to this tool in the kitchen, chopping carrots or slicing apples or whatever, you'll find it is really like a chisel. Like it's like driving an axe or a wedge through something, and it'll split your apple rather than slicing it. And this, it's still a very thick, hardy blade here, so you do still get some of that, but just being 2.5mm, it's just like a little bit slicier kind of a feel to it, right? Apart from that, everything is the same. The overall, I'm going to grab the no clip version here. The overall width is half a millimeter thinner for the drop point version. So that means you're not going to be swapping blades between the two of them unless you swap the pins and everything else. But yeah, so we're not offering just like a blade kit or whatever. You're using what you got there. But yeah, this is the new drop point. And I've replaced this one in my pocket. I replaced my Tanto with the drop point just to kind of trial it, and I've really been enjoying it. I do find, like, for cutting boxes and whatever, I end up going to the tip more than that's originally why I wanted the Tanto. Is if you're opening stuff, this really it keeps you from just going to the tip all the time, right? This one I do end up going to the tip, but it's easy to keep this steel sharp, so it doesn't require much. It holds an edge really nicely. So I mean, if you do your research, or if you already know your blade steels, S35 VN steel is one of the kind of top tier choices. So yeah, and it's it's got a really nice washer setup, great centering, and it's smooth right out of the box. Like basically no break-in period. Okay. Easy one-hand opening. It's got the dual thumb studs for you lefties out there. I'm not great with my left hand, but I can get it open. But yeah, I'm really liking this. I actually, it's interesting how kind of honed your tactile perception gets. Like I can just pick it up and I can immediately feel the difference in thickness between the drop point and the tanto, just by, I don't know if it's like slightly heavier, the tanto, or if it's the thickness itself, but I can immediately tell just by picking it up, which I've got in my hand. And yeah, I think you guys are going to love them. If you want a clip version, this is deep pocket carry. It's got a really nice clip. Clip is nicely designed so it doesn't lean on the lock bar, so you don't get any grinding or anything. And yeah, I've got clip version and no clip on both the drop point and the tanto. These are going to all go back in at launch pricing, which I think was $175 for the product launch, and then they'll go to the regular pricing after that. But that's like, you know, it's a small knife, but if you look into the materials and the amount of use you're going to get out of it, check around online. The comments on these have been uniformly really positive, and people have like really put them through their paces as well. It's a great little tool. It's not a long knife, but if you're in Canada, the advantage is that you can actually go through airport security with one of these guys in your pocket. Yeah, you know, you do your research in case the rules vary from place to place or whatever. But I've gone through a few times, and it's just like, it's a small blade. It's you know, similar to what you have on a Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman in terms of length, but it's just like, it's way better duty than one of those guys. All right, so that's the base restock, and I guess we could call it a re-up because of the new blade grind here. Got a couple of other things that we're throwing in there. One is the unknown product launch from the November drop there. So this was a collaboration between Grain Theory and Aroundsquare. So Grain Theory of Kendama fame, of course. And yeah, Jake has been really awesome with repping and supporting and spreading the love for Aroundsquare. And he's been an advocate for the Knucklebones. And so he really knows his woods and wood manufacturing. And so we started talking a while ago about doing a collaboration, and we decided to do a run of co-branded Knucklebones. So you can see the GT calipers there and the AO2 logo there. And this is what we call the dark water maple Spectraply. So Spectra is the kind of trade term for this type of laminated plywood where it's got alternating dyed layers. So it's a really awesome effect. So this is a raw unit right here, and this is actually oiled. It's with some conditioner that we've got, kind of a beeswax and oil mix. But if you just play it with your hands, it's going to end up like looking like this over time, anyways, just from the oil in your hands and whatever else it picks up. So this kind of just accelerates the process. And those of you who have bought raw wood Knucklebones from us before kind of know the drill. It's the same process. So this is the Spectraply. Then we've got also one of the classics, purple heartwood. Again, started off looking raw, and you can see some kind of tooling lines there and stuff. So it is very much raw, but there's something satisfying in buying something that looks like this and having it kind of age over time to darken and look something like this. So it is, without exaggeration, like over time, it's gonna look like this. This is just really speeding up the process with that oil beeswax conditioner, right? And then this one here is a new wood for us, padauk, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but again, this is the raw and this is the conditioned. But it has this like funky grain and a kind of a neat color. It's a little bit red in tone, and it's got some darker kind of patches to it. So it's got that kind of beige color, a little bit like beech or maple in some places, but it has a more pronounced grain. And as it ages, it takes on this kind of like nice tan look, really a lot like kind of raw leather, rawhide kind of look. Anyways, I'm really liking it, and the three of these all have really nice weight. The Spectraply is the heaviest, and it's actually discernibly heavier than most of the other woods. But it's just got like a nice heft to it, and you'll feel the difference if you've played a lot of Knucklebones. You'll feel it when you pick it up. All right. So super stoked to finally be able to share these with you. It was a little bit of a cheeky thing that we did last month by putting them as an unknown product. That was mainly because we weren't sure we were going to receive them in time. I wasn't trying to hold out and like kind of keep them away from anybody. It was really just like I didn't want to get too much hype going and then not have them in hand when the product launch came down. We did get them. We sold a lot of them, but we do have a few left over for the public launch here. Okay. And then the last thing is these guys here. Again, we way like under anticipated the demand for these. There was way more interest than we had inventory. So we sold out of these. We've dyed a bunch more of the colored beads. The issue right now is we're waiting for a new batch of the white large mangas. So hopefully we'll get these. We're supposed to be receiving them like Thursday this week, but things being as they are, the Canada Post is still on strike. That's not affecting us, but meanwhile, like due to the increased volume, I guess Purelator and UPS they've suspended shipments or suspended new orders or something. So we have like a bunch of stuff that's warehoused with UPS, and we don't know when we're going to get it. So anyways, that's like the trials of the season. But if we're able to restock these, we'll do so. If we're not, then wait for January. But I'm committed to making these available again, just because they sold out really quickly, and I don't want people to be that having that fear of missing out all the time. So whenever that happens, I do my best to get stuff back in stock for you. All right. So I think that's it, guys. Thanks to everybody for the participation in the Single Grip Open. I'm going to be sending out an email shortly with a little bit of recap on stuff. But yeah, that's been an awesome year for Aroundsquare, awesome year in the community, and thanks everybody for your support. All right, happy holidays. Take it easy.